Clean up body to your share.
I did it!
Dancing.
It was an ordinary day. We were living in New York at the time, and my dad called, and he, just like my dad would do, said, "The stupid doctor told your mother she has cancer." And I used to find myself crying because I was going to lose my mother. I was crying she was here, and I wasn't celebrating the fact that she was here. And one day I woke up and I said, I'm missing out on the joy of spending time together because I'm so worried I'm going to lose her. Before I even knew that I was getting breast cancer, I always knew I would get breast cancer. I just had a gut feeling. I was diagnosed on October 2nd, 2002. My mom was still with us, and she said, make sure you go get it. Don't let it get you. Well, Jenna knows that she needs to be tested. And she came to our house that evening, and just one look at her face, and I knew exactly what she was going to say. And I said, okay, so again, what are we going to do about this? And that's when all of a sudden cancer became a forever part of our lives. When I was having chemotherapy, Dr. Vogel's office called me and said, you know, Elise, we really would like, even though your mom had HER2, we want to do a BRCA screening on you. So I had the blood test, came back positive, but I had already opted to have bilateral mastectomies.
I wasn't going to wait for it to get me. I felt like I was just a ticking time bomb. Every decision that I've made was affected by this gene. I'm a very proactive person. Became a dentist at 24, always had goals and what the next step is in my life. Once I found out that I had it, I had the surgery and really didn't look back from it. I'm definitely all about being proactive and, in everything. So for me, the research is the best way we can be proactive. I saw a 20-something-year-old girl post something one day that said, if you have BRCA, you should not have children without doing IVF and testing them first. And if you can't afford that, you shouldn't have children because it's not fair to them. And she says, I wish my mom would have had an abortion. If my mom didn't pass this on to me, I wouldn't be here. And I reached out to her personally and said, please don't limit yourself. Don't put this as a death sentence on you. I'm a dentist, I've accomplished this, and I told her everything despite complications and so many surgeries in my life and the fact that I've been limitless. My husband and I ended up needing to do IVF, and while doing IVF, they said, well, we can do a genetic screening for the embryos and make sure that the embryos that we implant don't have BRCA. My goal was a BRCA negative girl. We had 2 or 3 embryos that were BRCA positive, but we had 1 embryo that was healthy, and it was BRCA negative, healthy, and a girl. So that was exciting. I remember wishing at that time that my grandmother was here to be able to show her that. My grandmother was involved in the early trials and research that have come up with almost a cure. It's basically curative now when you have HER2.
My mom said yes to the trial, and as she said, this may not cure me, but someday, hopefully, it'll cure other women. Between research and guidance and wonderful caring physicians, she's whole and she's happy and she looks great, she feels great. And my granddaughter doesn't have BRCA. And I wish I could share this one-on-one with my mom, but she knows.